again, they call mission, and you 3 in the morning. All discombobulated, like, what's going on? Disoriented, and you literally put on your helmet you going out to the back, right?
Okay.
I was like, and after the whole mission, you take a little picture like this. I literally got a picture like this.
Barrington Scott is the Guinness World Record holder for the fastest person to scuba dive in all 7 continents. He's ex-Marine, a former executive chef, and currently living here in Thailand. He was adopted at 12 years old, and his story really reminds us that life is for living. When I was looking into his life, who he was and what he's done, I was like, there is no way this man can be boring. And thankfully, in addition to all of his adventures, he's a great story. I'm super excited for this conversation, but before we dive deep into his journey, I have to ask, babes, how did you get here?
If you want to go back, are we going back?
We're going as way back as you want to go.
Let's go back. We'll go back to when I finished my enlistment in the Marines.
Okay.
Right? That was around 2013.
Okay.
June 2013. I was trying to figure out what was next in my life, that transitional period, And at the time, like I said, I wanted to study medicine. That was on my bucket list of things to do, career-wise. But life had a set of another set of plans for me, and I ended up going to culinary school.
Okay.
But even before I went to culinary school, how that fell in my lap, I'm kind of impulsive a little bit. I've gotten better. But it started with I invited one of my friends over, and he's a chef, and I made something basic, some candy and some mac and cheese. Nothing crazy.
Stuff.
The good stuff, He came over. He had some of my food. He's like, "Oh, this food is really good." He's like, "You ever thought about being a chef?" I was like, "So it's a good one." No, no, I'm gonna be a doctor.
Right.
I'm gonna go to medical school. He's like, "No, you should check it out. Check out, there's an open house."
Okay.
And just kind of.
Babes, let's talk about food real quick, because feeding kids should not feel like a burden, even though some days I'm told it does. My course, Feed Like a CEO, teaches you how to simplify meals and raise kids who actually eat real food, without refined sugars, without ultra-processed foods, and without the drama. We will cover changing how you think about food, routines, and how to raise kids that love food and will eat everything. I'm sharing exactly how I feed my twins, because I know it can help you bring peace to your meal times. So, if you're ready to feed your kids and yourself with less stress and more joy, check out Feed Like a CEO, because when you eat well, everything runs smoother, including you.
See if it's your vibe. I was like, all right, you know what? Sure, why not, right? It doesn't hurt. Ended up going to the open house, and I'm looking at, I think it was the Art Institute of Charlotte, and I'm, kind of moving around the school, and it's like, oh, this is awesome because it's all glass, right? And you can see inside the classrooms, and I'm looking at the students kind of scrambling around the kitchen like a chicken with the head cut off, and just trying to figure out with pots, and you see flames and everything. I was like, oh, this is intense. Oh, this is fun. Oh, I want to be part of this. Sign me up. So I ended up enrolling for that January of 2014, right? And I kind of just, that from there just kind of took off, right? So I ended up doing 4 years, ended up 3.5 years. I'm getting my bachelor's in culinary arts and business management.
Okay.
Right. Ended up in between. I was working at little mom and pop restaurants. My first actual gig was at this Scratch Kitchen, Scratch Italian Kitchen.
Okay.
In Charlotte.
Yes.
And it was intense. It was awesome. I just felt like with cooking, I was just really good at it. I was good at just the cooking aspect, right? I wasn't well versed in knowing the layout of the being a line cook and being you kind of get a sense of that in school, but it's school, right? It's not real life until you're dropped into those situations this is a lot. Oh my god, you want some noodles? Okay, I can give you some pasta. Okay, you need a salad. I can give you some salad. So I'm scrambling. So my adrenaline, my adrenaline was through the roof, 12 hours. I'm so at the end of each shift, I just felt really drained. I was like, is this really for me? Is this my life?
Right.
So I had to pivot a little bit. And so, but I still love to cook. I love it. I think the professional just wasn't for me, right? Anyway, moving on. During that time, it was 2017. I was in this space. I was in this really dark space because I had, I deployed to Afghanistan.
Can you take me back to how you even end up in the Marines? Because when I read that, I was just like, really?
Yeah. All right. So we're going to pin that. Let's pin that part. Let's pin that part. Let's take it back for a second.
Yeah.
So the Marines, I was high school.
Okay.
High school. I think it was 11th grade. And I think it was mandatory for all 11th graders to take the ASVAB, which is the entry level test for the military.
Okay.
Right. Each branch have their own score, whatever. Right. And so and I'm taking the test. I'm falling asleep on it like twice. I wasn't taking it serious because it just wasn't a goal of mine to enlist in the military. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to do this because whatever, right? And I think a couple months later, something like that, I had a National Guard Army recruiter, come and say, hey, are you Barrington? I was like, yeah. He was like, you ever thought about joining the National Guard or the Army or whatever? I was like, I forgot which branch. I was like, no. I was like, no. And at the time at that moment in high school, I wanted to study architecture.
Okay.
Because I love to draw.
Yeah.
That was a little secret skill of mine at the time. And I'm gonna be an architect. Nah, I'm good. And he's like, all right, cool, no worries. He's like, all right, no worries. All right. So fast forward 12th grade year.
Okay.
And by that time, I'm kind of like slacking off because I'm thinking I've done well up to this point. I can kind of like relax, and my GPA dropped.
Okay.
And so I was like, okay, well, there goes scholarships. Time to let's pivot a little bit. Let's figure out what's next. And so I think one morning I had this Marine recruiter, right? And he's all dressed up his blues. I'm like, what is going on?
I have like Cuba Gooding Jr. images from the movie.
I was like, oh, the all prestige, like all stoic, and like his back straight, his posture's up. I was like, he's not. Oh, he's like, hey, man, you ever thought about joining the Marines? I said, well, I haven't, but tell me more. I like, because this right here, what you're giving right now, it's like making me a little, it makes it a little appealing. So he's like, we offer this free school, this, that, and that. I was like, wait, what? Back up, free school?
Yeah,
sign me up. You should have led with that. And so I was like, all right, sign me up. So we ended up doing, we was exercising and like kind of doing like little workouts to kind of get me prepared, pretty much conditioning for boot camp, right?
Right.
And again, it was one of them things where I was a scrawny little dude. You see me now, I got a little muscle, but at the time I was like maybe like 130 pounds, maybe, I'm 160 now, just kind of for reference. I'm like 165 for reference. And so I was a little scrawny kid. All I do is play games, like a little nerdy stuff, And so when I told, he's like, we need to get your guardian to sign off because I wasn't 18 yet. I was 17. So I was like, oh, wow. Okay, well, shit. I got to ask my grandmother, can she sign me up to the Marines?
Sure.
That's a whole challenge within itself. And so I was like, hey, grandma, well, so I was thinking, college coming up, I'm about to graduate. Scholarships are not coming in. I need to pay for school. And I was like, well, I had this recruiter, kind of hit me up and offered, to join the Marines. And she didn't really know much about the Marines. She just thought like, it was just Army or whatever, right? So, and kind of explained to her. So she's like, okay, something you really want to do? Sure, let's go for it. I was like, all right, cool. Now, mind you, I don't understand the gravity of the situation. I don't understand the gravity of the decisions that I'm making at the time of 17, right?
Okay.
I'm 17, and you kind of dangle free schooling.
Yes.
I'm gonna sign up for it. That sounds appealing, right? Especially at 17, right? We don't want to go with student loans. You don't go through that whole process. At the time, I was kind of more wise, kind of be like, I don't want student loans, right? And so fast forward, it wasn't until we did MEPS, which is like kind of like go through like you go to the hospital to kind of check you out to see if you're physically fit.
Yep.
All that good stuff. So we did that. And it wasn't until I finally shipped off to boot camp. Okay. Now, mind you, I graduated high school June 2009.
Right.
I enrolled into boot camp July 2009.
Okay, so quick time.
Quick, Yeah. I didn't have much time to process. So again, I'm on these yellow footprints, which is kind of like the introduction, right? Kind of everybody, we get out the van, we line up.
Right.
And I'm like, and that's when it's like my stomach sunk. Like everything sunk in. I was like, Army, in boot camp.
Right.
What did I sign up for? And it wasn't until I'm looking around like, is anybody else realizing this right now? Like, we're in boot camp. Like, shit is about to hit the fan real fast. And so I'm looking around and this drill instructor was like, what the fuck you looking at, recruit? Not a damn thing, actually. You know what? Let me look ahead, because I ain't looking at shit. Sorry, can we curse?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I think that kind of, woke me up. It kind of made me, okay, this is real, right?
Right.
And so, did 13 weeks of that. And it was the most And even now, like it was the most intense, most challenging, both emotionally, physically, mentally. Like it hits all those points because the point of boot camp is, especially Marine boot camp, is that they want to break you down and build you back up.
Okay.
Baby.
Can you explain the difference between Marines and the Army just briefly?
Yeah. So like you have the Army, which is like they're considered land, right?
Okay.
Land. You have the Navy, which is considered like the sea.
Sure.
The Coast Guard is kind of like a branch off that. Like I think they just do the open ocean, like you know, kind of like ocean recovery or anything dealing with that. I think it's like I'm not sure what this Coast Guard. No one really knows.
Yeah.
You know, Air Force. You know, yeah. And then you had the Marines, which is kind of like an amphibian, right, where you kind of do land and water.
Okay.
So the idea of it is that, say for instance, we go to war.
Yep.
We're kind of like front lines.
Right.
And we establish the line.
Okay.
Right. And so that's when we bring in, after we establish the line, we bring in the Army or whatever to kind of maintain the line.
Right.
And that's how that
That's really helpful to understand. So when you're at boot camp, are you realizing that you're going to war? Because
they give you the idea like, they prepare you for war, right? So you kind of get you in that mindset that if shit hit the fan and we need you, you got to be ready. Okay. Right? But then again, there's a lot. The likelihood of you going to war is slim to none, right? Okay. You know, especially at that time, and we still had we were still going up. We were still deploying to Afghanistan, right? But it just they wasn't sending as many troops, right? And so I was like, all right, cool. I'm not going to deploy, right? Not me. So it wasn't until 2012, right? I don't know if there was some mix up with a unit. I think they was ineligible to go. I forgot. I don't remember what the details. Sure. But I do remember being in formation. And they telling us, oh, by the way, I think it was a weekend too. They was like, oh, have a good weekend. By the way, we're gonna deploy in a couple months or whatever. And I'm like, whoa. Like, you know, it's like, I think I got like vertigo. Not vertigo. Is it vertigo? It was kind of like get dizzy, head spinning. I was like, what is going? What are you telling me right now? And so, so it took me a minute. Yeah. Because I cried. I went straight to my dorm and I cried. I called my grandma. I was like, hey, we were just told we're gonna deploy. Yeah. She's like, well, I was like, I'm coming home. She's like, you can't come here. You can't come here. And I was like, I'm gonna die. They're gonna ship me off. I'm gonna get shot in the head. Like, oh my God. I was like, I'm spiraling. Like, you wanna see somebody crash out? I was crashing out, okay? So anyway, fast forward, we ended up deploying to Afghanistan. We was in Kajaki, which is, I think, someplace.
Is this your first trip abroad at this point?
Yes, it is. It was. Okay. Yeah, it was. You know.
How deep?
How deep what?
Just like for that to be your first introduction to a world outside of what you know feels heavy.
You know, honestly, I was like 19 going on 20. Sure. Again, you don't really process a lot of the emotions. You just kind of going through the motion, right? Okay. And even now to later, you realize the gravity of, again, the situation that you've been in and what you experience, and you kind of like, damn, I've been through that. But while you're in it, you don't feel it. You don't feel it. You know what I mean? So I'm just again, they just tell us because they train you to do as you're told. Right. Put your head down. You know, show up when you need to show up, and that's it, right? And you don't really think. You just kind of like an autopilot, like a robot almost. Sure. You know what I mean? And so it was a lot of that more so. And so again, we deployed. We're deploying, and again we in the thick of it. And so like the first 3 months, we was getting like pop shots, like out of like a little.
What does that mean?
Pretty much they were just shooting at us.
Literally,
they didn't have any. Well, we was the targets, but again, it was like kind of like they were shooting just to shoot to kind of scare us or whatever. Okay, everywhere, you know. And again, I was just so. There was a period in my time where it was the most stressful time of my life, right? Because any given time, anything could happen, right? It was a very unstable situation for 6 months, right? You just don't know, you know? And so we was in flak and Kevlar for the first 3 months. It was really chaotic. Flak and Kevlar. Sorry,
babe. I have no idea what was
so it's cool. It's pretty much like a bulletproof vest and a helmet the whole time. You know, the whole time for the most part. And we was getting like missions throughout the night. So I'll be sound asleep 3 a.m. in my little skivvies, like pajamas pretty much, right? Yeah. And I have like this photo on Facebook where skivvies is like this little, it's pretty much what I'm wearing now, kind of like this. Right. You're probably a little shorter, right. You know? Green, little shirt or whatever. And they call it mission. And you were 3 a.m. like, oh, discombobulated, like what's going on? Disoriented, you know? And you literally putting on your helmet, you going out to the back, right? Okay. I was like, and after the whole mission, you take a little picture like this. I got a picture on Facebook like this. Mind you, it's like hella late, like 4 or 5 in the morning at the point. Anyway, so it was the most stressful time of my life for me. Again, I was so stressed out that I actually blacked out most of like what happened. I just remember like bits.
Yeah.
And slowly, if I like really like meditate and kind of like think about it, it'll come back. It slowly comes back. But majority is literally forgot majority of the experience.
Sure.
So moving forward after the deployment, you know, got out and then boom, pinned to where I left off.
Okay.
Right. So I was at a dark space in my life where again I was kind of like I didn't have that transition, even from like going from like, you know, the foster care and like, you know, that whole trauma and then military and then that whole like transitioning. I felt like I didn't have time to breathe.
Sure.
I didn't have time to process. I didn't have time to just decompress, you know, really and get the help that I needed, you know. So PTSD, all that, the whole thing, you know. And so I was really dark space, and so I was like, I need a break. I need a break. And so I was like, you know, at the time, I wanted to take like a 3-week trip to Malaysia. A 3-week trip to Southeast Asia. So I was going to start in Malaysia and kind of travel over to like Thailand or, you know, some other countries, right, nearby countries. And so like during my research, I am like Googling this thing called gap year. And again, it's one of them things that Americans, what's a gap year?
I'm laughing because I took a gap year.
See?
And I like planned. When I first heard about gap years, I was like in my gap year because I'm a teenager by this point. I'm like, when I finish school, before I like go to university, I'm going to take this gap year.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to go to France, Spain, and China. I had read an article that China was going to be the leading nation. I think at the time it was like 2015.
Right,
Like,
okay.
This is back in the day.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, so I need to learn Mandarin. Right? Because if I'm going to keep up with like who I envisage myself to be, I need to know how to speak Mandarin.
Well, how old are you?
When I decided this, I planned this when I was 9.
9?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I planned my life when I was 9.
Okay.
Yeah, and I only realized at 16 that you should review your 9-year-old plan.
Absolutely. But if you even think about that at 9, it's crazy.
Yeah, I went a bit too like structured, but I did go to France for 6 months.
Yeah.
And then basically au pairing didn't work out for me, and then I became Miss Jamaica. So my gap year like got extended to 2 years. But the point is, I was really familiar with gap years and understood that it's not something that everybody really does.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And especially where like American culture where they kind of train you to kind of be like work from high school straight to whatever college or trade school, whatever you're going to do. It doesn't include gap years or taking a sabbatical to find yourself or enjoy life. No. No.
Get to work, babe.
Get to work. You're going to do that when you're 65, you know? So yeah, I was Googling gap years and I'm like, what is going on with this? I'm like, I felt like it's a cheat code. I was like, oh my God, I could take a year off of life? I could just disconnect from life for a year? Yeah, let's do that. So it was at that moment where I was like, my partner at the time, I was like, hey, I'm taking a gap year.
Right.
He's like, what is a gap year?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, a sabbatical. We take a year of life. I was like, I'm taking a year of life. So I'm selling my house. I'm selling this car. I'm quitting my job.
And you guys live together at this point?
We live together, yeah.
So his house gone too because...
Yeah, absolutely. I was like, well, you don't got to go home.
Right.
You got to find a home. But I'm selling this house. I'm selling my car. I'm selling this dog. Or I'm getting rid of this dog.
So by this point, you have house, car, dog, relationship stability.
Yeah.
And you felt that you needed to walk away from that?
Yeah, because I wasn't. Yeah, because, you know, externally, I mean, I had the American dream right at that point, right? At the 22.
That's mad to me. Like, also to come from foster care and have, like you say yourself, those traumas, to then go straight into the military and to essentially be having these things that adults are working for years, right?
Absolutely.
And you've already ticked off all of those boxes and essentially defied the stereotype of coming from hardship to create that so soon. I'm like, at this point, you should be living life and enjoying the house and enjoying those things. Right. So it's really interesting that you were like, actually, I don't want it. Right,
because also like you get the American dream, right? You rush to that, and then you're like, is this the rest of my life? Is it? I rushed to this point in my life. Now it's like, this can't be the rest of my life. You know what I mean? So it was also a part of that too. But I also didn't feel secure within myself mentally. I felt like I was slipping, you know?
Okay.
And into, like I said, a dark space where none of this really mattered. None of this mattered. You know, nothing what I had or accomplished up to that point mattered.
Right.
And I needed to pour back into myself, recharge my spirit.
Yes.
And not a little vacation. No, I need to figure out what's broken in me and figure out what that looks like, how to fix it. And which we'll get to that in a second.
Sure.
But I was like, I'm selling all of this. I'm leaving. And
how did he feel?
Oh, he was like, because I was like, I'm leaving you too. I was like, everything has to go.
Oh, no.
Because I didn't know how to navigate that. I didn't know how to navigate what this looks like for me. Because I was like, I also came with the ideas like, I'm saying a year, but it could be longer.
Right.
I don't know what life has in store for me. I know I'm just going when I need this.
Okay.
And I was like, figure out what you got going on. He was like, oh, no, wait. He was like, you can do everything, sell a house, but we're not breaking up.
Oh.
I was like, oh, that's sweet.
That is so sweet.
That's real sweet. But how we gonna work this out? Because I'm still going and we need to figure out something, right? He's like, well, so how we had to figure it out was that every 3 months he'll come visit whatever country I was in for like a week or two or whatever.
Right.
So it was great. It was actually wonderful, you know?
Yeah.
But man, that year is what I needed.
Really?
And that changed the whole trajectory of like how my life would have been or what I think my life would have been.
Sure.
Until now. Like it's crazy because that gap year, man, I was doing things I've dreamed of doing, you know what I mean? Or even doing things I didn't think that I would have been doing. Yeah. So, and I was having a great time. I mean, it was such a liberating experience for me and liberating. And it's so sad because I realized that a lot of people won't be able to experience that. Where you have that year or that moment, well, just peace, right? You have the opportunity to kind of wake up in the morning like the world is literally your oyster. Sure. You can do whatever you literally want to do. And that feeling is something I wanted to chase. Like I wanted that. It's like a drug to me now. At that point, I was like, this is freeing. This is, oh my God, this is what life should be. You know what I mean? And all the emotions that's associated with that, right?
Right.
And so again, I was a yes man. Meaning if I was meeting travelers, they want to go climb this mountain. Yes.
Okay.
You want to go rock climbing? Yes. I've never been rock climbing before at that point, but I was like, yes.
Right.
So everything was just yes, and I was loving it until I was running out of money. I was like, this is all good, but unfortunately, I need money. I need more money.
Can I ask, where did you go during that year? So you started off in Malaysia, and then where did we find ourselves?
Oh. Malaysia. Now I forgot the particular order, but it was Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, Vietnam, Cambodia.
Oh, amazing.
South Korea, Hong Kong, Macau.
Oh, babes, you went some places.
Oh yeah, Australia. So yeah, it was. I was kind of.
And during that year, was there any point where you felt perhaps guilty for breaking away in ways that other people weren't, or did you feel that you were at all setting yourself back, or in the sense that coming from the mindset of work, achieving, ticking boxes, and now you've gone completely the other direction and you're not being productive in the way that people view productivity? Or were you just like, actually, fuck all of that. This is solely for me and I feel right in everything that I'm doing?
It was a combination of all of that.
Really?
You know what I mean? Because at first it was, outside of the guilt, there was never a time where I felt guilty for leaving. I mean, that part, no, I don't associate that part.
Sure.
But the whole, not being productive. There was a point where it's like, life is a little too good. It's like, maybe I should be doing something because I'm still young. And I was like, maybe I should be doing something, right? Okay. And that's what I was doing. I was still doing photography. Well, I was kind of like branching into photography because I was like, maybe I can make a little thing out of this, right? Sure. So I had like this little beginner camera and I was just kind of shooting and kind of see, developing a skill set, right? Yeah. Just kind of making myself, at least learning something new while I'm on this journey, right? But it was that, and then it was like, I need this. This is for me. You know what I mean? This is literally for me. And it I'm trying to find the words. Sure. So there was also, outside of the fun, there's a lot of reflective moments too. Cause I also go back to, my life up until then. So there's times where I felt like, cause I have siblings, right? I have siblings where I was like, I'm the oldest brother. Okay. So, they're still navigating life. They still, at the time they was young, they're still in like, school or whatever. And also really trying to figure out like, how do I build something, or how can I pass this on to my siblings? Yes. Or like, how can I, and so it was kind of like, okay, how can I bottle this up to kind of like pass it down pretty much, right? How can I bottle this experience up? So it was more so I'm doing this for me, but also doing this for them as well. You know what I mean? Because I'm trying to I want to let them know that, hey, you can do this too.
Yes.
You can do this too. You don't got to follow this. You don't got to follow this conventional the conventional roadmap. You can kind of, pivot or like, whatever. Just kind of make the best of whatever your life, whatever your life is. And our beginnings doesn't determine our endings, right? It was a lot of that I try to pass down to them, and they just don't listen. They're in their 20s now. So they just like, whatever. It's like, I'm like, all right, cool.
But you did your part.
I did my part. You know what I mean? As an older brother, I'm not their father. Hey, I tried, whatever, right?
Sure.
But it wasn't to the end of my my trip, well, near the end of my trip, near the end of my gap year, where I was down to my last $2-3 grand, and I met one of the truckers. I stayed in hostels. Okay. In hostels, let me tell y'all, okay, we would not drag hostels. Okay, hostels has gotten me through a whole year of.
Really?
I met the most interesting people. Okay, and they have this whole, and I hate it because hostels have this whole stigma of being like, dirty.
I'm not gonna lie, babes. I've never stayed in a hostel, and no, never. And the idea, I was even saying to my sister the other day that when my kids get older and they tell me that they want to travel more and do all of this stuff, I just need to be in a financial position so that they never need to see the indoor of a hostel. And now you're telling me, because I don't know where I got this notion from, but I definitely think dirty. I think way too communal for my baby girls. You know, and I think safety. But to be honest with you, I've never stepped inside one, so I could just be chatting absolute shite.
No, there was a point in time where again the stigma was definitely
a thing.
Yes, a thing, right? But now, I mean, I've been in some hostels where they kind of rival hotels.
Really?
In terms of and they even more unique because they don't have that pressure, right? So I've seen some really cool even here well, they're boutique hostels now. They have boutique where they kind of
we're calling them boutique.
Yeah. in this they have private rooms too. They have private rooms. The communal part is having there's a social aspect of it, having the common areas. We have pool tables, TVs, all that good stuff. It's really that they kind of welcome that community of travelers. We can kind of sit down and exchange stories.
Right.
But you can still go back to your private room.
Okay.
They have the dorms where you can choose from 2, 4, 6, 8, 16. Literally, not gonna lie to you. It's like little cubbies, just in the wall. I'm like, okay. But it's really cool, you know what I mean? And again, a lot of them are nice. A lot of them are nice now, especially nowadays,
That's good to
So
know.
I've been in some really cool ones.
Okay.
So anyway, where was I going? I lost my train of thought.
You're coming towards the end of your gap year.
So while I was staying in the hostels, I met this traveler. And he was just saying that, go to Australia. Chefs make really good money out there. And I said, okay. So I ended up getting, using a little bit of money to buy my ticket.
Right.
And I didn't go straight into culinary.
Okay.
Until the chefing thing. I ended up working on the farm.
Okay.
Yeah, I ended up working on the farm.
What kind of farm?
It was a citrus farm.
Okay.
You was plucking those oranges or whatever. And it was fun. It was fun until it wasn't,
How quick was the fun and then not fun?
After 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, because honestly, and I was, not to brag, but I was, I was the fastest picking those oranges, and maybe it was that little ancestry thing that going on. I'm not sure what that was, but I was like, boom, 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 boom. You see my basket, I got baskets of oranges. He's I got 10 little baskets, and anyway.
So you get paid by the number of oranges that you pick? Oh, great. So that hard work paid off.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
So there's a little incentive to kind of work fast. You know what I mean? So it was where it kind of kind of deviated for me is where I saw a snake in a tree and I was like, see, this is why this is Australia. And I kind of forgot that. I was like, I forgot I'm in Australia. It won't happen again. So I ended up leaving the farm. I was like, this is cool. Kind of move on. And ended up getting this, working with this recruiting agency that kind of hires chefs.
Okay.
They hire chefs. And pretty much they pay for your accommodation, your domestic travel, food. So you literally just pocket all the money.
Okay.
And so it's pretty much just contract work. You work with a venue where they are kind of, if anywhere for a couple of weeks, a couple of months, whatever, right?
Okay.
So that was great. Ended up working on this, working at this resort, Kakadu Resort in Darwin, Australia. I kind of fudged my resume a little bit, I told them I was an executive chef at another restaurant.
and you weren't an executive chef?
No.
By this point, had you elevated from line cook?
Nope.
So not even like, oh, I was a sous chef and now I'm like just pretending to be an exec. You are literally fresh out of culinary school,
Yep.
line cook, but baby, we've promoted ourselves.
Yep.
Love it.
It is it was the confidence for me because it's like I went to culinary school. I you know, as a line cook, I saw how, you know, the operations, all that good stuff. So
I mean, we've all watched Hell's Kitchen, babes.
right, exactly. A couple episodes of that, and it's like, oh, I know how to run a kitchen. You know, it's easy. What? Cook, whatever, food, cool. That's it, man. I get to this resort, and I'm going in this kitchen, and I see like see some chefs. And I'm like, hey,
there's a brigade.
Yeah, and I'm like, hey guys, I'm gonna be executive chef, and I'm like getting dry throat because I'm nervous. Cause like what, you know, I felt like I put myself into the deep end, right? And man, those first 2 weeks was horrible. You know, it wasn't the food aspect of it. Like cooking, wasn't difficult. It was managing people, managing a whole kitchen. I was like, whoa,
yeah,
you know. So, but it was definitely an experience, and I ended up bringing one of my colleagues, and I was like, hey, I need your help.
Right.
Come to Australia. We pay for whatever you got going on. Let's do it. She ended up coming. We took over that kitchen. It was awesome. So we ended up doubling their covers.
Amazing.
Yeah, and it was great. And like I said, me and the general manager, we bump heads. You know, and ended up leaving. Okay. You know, we ended up having a little situation. I'm not going to incriminate myself. I won't do that. But no, nothing crazy. I just slashed a little tire or two. You know?
Why not?
Yeah, why not? He was hella rude. He was a douchebag, complete douchebag. He deserved it, right? Anyway, fast forward.
Before you fast forward, those first 2 weeks, right? Yeah. And you're working and you're managing these other shifts. Yeah. Are they realizing that you don't know what the hell you're doing? I think they had an inkling. Okay. I think they had an idea, but it's one of them things. Australians are really, they'll speak their mind and they come up abrasive, but it don't mean any malice by it. They just kind of, it's just straightforward. You know what I mean? And so they'll say, hey, this is not how you do this. This is how you do it. You know? Okay. And I just chalk it up, be like, oh, I'm just new. You know, my excuse was, sorry, I do things differently here in Australia. Amazing. Then in America, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to find my footing, you know? Right, I have no idea what the fuck's going on. You know, exactly. So it was a lot of that. So I was like, yeah, this is how you order produce? Oh, we do it so differently in America. You know? Gosh. Oh, you know, did I get this? The quantity, did you mean 5? Oh, sorry, the lot, like... The layout. The layout is so different. So there's a lot of that. You know? Why do you think they gave you this job? Because on my resume, it said I've done this before. So the general manager he didn't know. Sure. He didn't, because I told him, I was like, hey, this is my kitchen, this is my team. Sure. You can manage the resort. So you had autonomy over your section. Exactly. Okay, amazing. And how long did you stay there? 6 months. Okay. So it was great. It was really great. Again, it was aside from me bumping heads with him, the general manager, also, again, snakes. I was on the toilet and a snake is coming from under the sink. No, that's too much. Yeah. And it was a rectangle bathroom, so you had to pass the sink to get out. And I was like, so I'm seeing a little head poking out under the sink, and I was like, oh, hell no. I didn't wipe my ass. I was like, oh, hell no. Let me get out of here. So I'm at the door. I got the video on my phone. It's like I'm standing at the door and I see the snake coming out, and I was like, oh, hell no. Yeah, so it was a lot. Yeah, too much. And it's Darwin. It's not all of the dangerous shit is in northern Australia. You know, you have the crocodiles, you have the bull sharks, you have the most venomous snakes in the world. You have everything. I was like, I'm good. I'm good for northern Australia. Sure. Yeah. So at this point, you've done your stint. You leave that hotel, the resort, and then do you have a plan in mind what your next move is? Yes. So my partner at the time had a temporary job out in Hawaii. Okay. So, you know, it's kind of like paradise for me. Sure. So I ended up moving to Hawaii for a couple, I think 6-7 months. Okay. And that was awesome. I ended up working as a chef out there too. Okay. Back to line cooking though. You know what's crazy? Because I actually quit the job the first day. And not even first day, like the first few hours. Really? Yeah. Because let me tell you, Hawaii is really casual, really casual. And I remember working at this restaurant. I ain't gonna say no names, but
I think they had some Filipinos working. And again, it was a language barrier where I came in at like 6 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
There was nobody in sight. Well, they had like workers, but they didn't. I'm trying to figure out like, is this orientation? Like, what's going on? Like, how do I navigate this kitchen?
Right.
And no one spoke like much English. And so it was this woman who she was, sweet old lady.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, trying like I guess she was maintenance or something or cleaner or whatever. And she was like, I was like, hey, what do I do? Like, what's going on? And she hands me a mop.
Oh. And
I'm not beneath any kind of job, but that's not what I signed up for. I didn't sign up to mop. I was like, oh, hell no. Y'all got me messed up.
Right.
Bye. So I quit, but then the manager calls me. He's like, hey, are you coming in? I was like, no, because I'm not mopping. He was like, oh, no, there's a mistake. Right? So there's a whole mistake. And so, can you come back in? Okay. We have somebody to kind of help you navigate the kitchen.
Sure.
So I was like, okay, cool. So I ended up doing that a couple months. And from there, stayed in Hawaii. And then we had an opportunity to kind of go back to Australia.
Okay.
And so we ended up moving to Brisbane.
Okay.
And Brisbane
snakes?
Huh?
Less snakes in Brisbane?
Way less snakes. Yeah, way less snakes. If any, know. Brisbane is is Queensland. It's not north.
Babe, I don't know the geography, so that's fine.
Anyway, good. Yeah, it's Brisbane. Brisbane is nice little city, clean city. Not as big as Sydney. Okay. But it's nice. You could. So I loved it. But again, I was a travel chef. Worked all over.
Okay.
Australia, aside from Tasmania and Melbourne.
Right.
But I loved it. And then COVID happened, and pretty much because we was on his sponsorship. Okay. And it was like, well, you don't got to go home, but you can't work here no more. Right. Yeah. So it was a lot of that. And so we was trying to figure out what was next. And we had an opportunity to go to Phoenix. Okay. And again, I'm still yes man. Where at the time I was like, hey, let's do it. Sure. Phoenix, I've never been. You know, it could be interesting. No. Oh, okay. Hell no. No. Biggest regret. Saying yes. Really? Biggest regret saying yes. I hate Phoenix.
Tell me about Phoenix.
It's hot. It is Satan's vacation home. Why is there a spot on earth that's this hot?
Is it really hot?
It is hot.
Like hotter than Caribbean, than Thailand hot?
Oh yeah.
Oh really?
It's 117 degrees. That thing that just had another record heat wave. For 117 degrees. I don't even know how much is that in Celsius? Maybe like 41, 42 or something like that. Maybe a little higher. Wow. It's intense.
Really?
It's very intense.
Is that just a summer flex? Do they have colder months?
They do. They have a winter. Okay. They do have a winter where it's cold. Right. But when it's hot, it's hot.
Okay. It's hell. You've arrived and I'm presuming it's hot.
It's hot.
Okay.
And I'm like, and then I'll feel like a fish out of water because there's no body of water nearby. You have lakes, but I'm not swimming in no lake. Okay. You know? Yep. And so I was like, all right, this is not the vibe for me. And then outside of that, it's like, it's not really a vibe, you know? Phoenix wants to be California so bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it was like, you're not that girl. Right. You know, so I'm telling my partner, I was like, hey, you know, this is cool. Right. You can stay here. Right. I'm gonna go to Honduras. Right. I'm gonna go to Honduras, kind of figure some things out. And at the time, I was also transitioning careers as well. Okay. Because I was like going back to the States. I said I don't want to be a chef no more. Okay. You know, I didn't want to go. I felt like I was going backwards because I was like, I'm going from making 6 figures in Australia, to making back to what, maybe $15, $20 an hour, maybe. You know, just about. I was like, I'm not doing that. Right. For double the work. Sure. Not me. I didn't sign up. That's not my ministry. Right. So I was like, you know, I was trying to figure out like what skill sets I had. Like, what can I, like, what's next for me? And then I was like, you know what? Scuba diving has always been like a stable, you know, hobby or whatever. Oh, really? Yeah. So I was scuba diving. So I'm a scuba diver.
Sorry. When did you get into scuba diving?
I got into scuba diving
during the gap year?
No. I got into scuba diving when I went on a cruise during the military. I went on a cruise. Okay. Yeah, it was after Afghanistan. Right. Went on a cruise to Bahamas or the Cayman Islands. I think Bahamas. Right. And yeah, I ended up they had this excursion for Discover Scuba. Okay. It was like kind of intro to scuba pretty much. And so I signed up for that and I loved it. Right. And it wasn't See, I skipped some stuff, right?
Yeah, so that's why the lakes weren't doing it for you. Yeah. And now it makes sense. I was like, why?
I'm a water guy. Sorry. I'm a water guy. I love the ocean. Sorry. Let's pin that. Right. Let's try to go back a little bit. So after the cruise. Yes. Yeah, I was like, I want more of this experience, but I was too broke to kind of take a separate trip.
Okay.
Because for you to get your open water, you need to, go to a dive center, take 3-4 days off.
When you say to get your open water, what does that mean?
Pretty much open water certification to be a certified scuba diver.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can pretty much recreationally go scuba diving.
Sure.
Right. And so I was doing a couple like Discover Scubas until I could afford actually a trip, which is I think before I left to my gap year. I think 2016, 2015. Yeah, I ended up taking a trip to Mexico.
Okay.
And became an open water diver.
Okay.
So I was diving.
Right.
And that's kind of opened the door for me. Whatever. At that point, that's what opened the door for me. So it wasn't my gap year. I was scuba diving. Went to Malaysia. Stayed on this island. And became advanced open. I did my advanced certification.
Okay.
And then now, boom, here we go. Fast forward.
Yes.
Now,
Honduras. Yeah.
So the intention behind Honduras is that I wanted to become a scuba instructor. I wanted to teach scuba.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, we just try this out, right? So I went to Honduras, worked my way up to instructor, and this was fun. I ended up going a little bit past that. I became a master scuba diving trainer.
What does that mean?
It's pretty much I can teach specialties. So I can teach like things like shipwrecks, like wreck penetration. I can teach like deep sea diving. I can do all types of different specialties, like the propelled underwater, like underwater. It's called DPVs. It's like pretty much it's like little underwater scooters you can ride or whatever, right? So I can teach different specialties,
right?
And it wasn't until I was doing my MSDT, which is the Master Scuba Diving Training,
right? And
I was assisting on some courses, and I realized how much I don't enjoy teaching scuba.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a couple $1,000s later, I came to that realization that I was like, I don't enjoy teaching.
So before this point that you realize you don't enjoy teaching, you were thinking, I'm passionate about scuba diving. Let me make this my career because let me do what I love, right?
Right, exactly.
And then you're like, but actually, I love it for me. I don't love teaching other people.
Right.
Why? Why don't you like teaching? Is it the people?
It's the people. It's always the people. It is the common denominator for things with teaching is the people.
Okay.
And people are. And the thing is, it's the activity itself, right? You're going underwater.
Right.
You can't be aloof or like you have to be
focused.
You have to be switched on.
Yeah.
And it is a safe sport. But however, there are dangers like anything else, right? It's not paying attention in, during your courses.
Sure.
Not following what your instructor is telling you, kind of thinking you can go off on your own. It's a lot. It's a combination. And also overconfidence, thinking that you can do one thing and you really can't. Like it's knowing you go into scuba diving, knowing you actually can't swim. So once and then you had never been in an open body of water before.
People are signing up for scuba courses, but they cannot swim?
Absolutely. Now, to be fair, I'm not gonna lie to you. I wasn't the strongest swimmer when I first started. However, I've been in open bodies of water. I wasn't scared of water. You know what I mean?
So people are coming to class, but they're scared of water?
Scared of open bodies, like open ocean.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the fear. Don't get me wrong, because I went like on a fishing boat. We went for a fishing trip. And they needed to use the toilet. And so I had done like a bougie fishing trip on a yacht with a bathroom, all the things where you're just there for the pictures, not really there for the fishing.
Gotcha, okay.
But then we never catch nothing, right? And who I was with was really about the fishing. So then we did a second trip, a fishing trip, on like a proper fisherman boat. Yeah. Right? There was no glam, babes. This was not Instagrammable. This was like a broke up boat. Yeah. But we caught loads of fish, ironically. Right. The point is that at one point on this trip, I need to use the bathroom. The man says there's like a ring, the lifeguard ring. So he says you could choose the ring or a bucket. I said, a ring or a bucket? He opens his little hatch, not a door, a hatch. Yeah. And there's a bucket in there that you could use. Right. Or you take the ring and fling out into the water and go pee in the water. Yeah. Now we were so far out. First of all, you cannot see land. There's no land nearby. And the blue is almost black. Right? Oh, it's that deep. Like we are out into water. Okay. I said, you want me jump out in that water with a little ring? I said, babes, I'm peeing in a bucket, like real quick. I didn't even. You chose the bucket? Babe, I chose the bucket. So I understand the fear of open water because I'm not peeing out there. Right. Like something could come for me out there. But then I wouldn't sign up for a scuba class.
There you go. Boom.
Do you get what I mean? So that part, like, I don't understand the connection.
Exactly. And people are doing it. And to this day, people are still signing up for scuba diving and cannot swim.
No.
You know, and it wasn't, I think it was this couple, I think it was Korean, I think. But again, it was one of them, it was a couple where they, again, could not swim.
Sure.
And they get out, I think they did so they finished the pool.
Sure.
Right, because it's pool, right?
Yes.
Everybody can go, you know, everybody's been in the pool. But it wasn't until we get out to the open ocean
Sure.
and it's time for them to jump in. And it's, what's going on right now? What's happening right now? And it was it's for me, it's kind of like, I love my life. I love my life, and I have zero patience for people, and especially in this environment again where it can get dangerous real fast. And I was like, no, teaching's not for me. Actually, I'm good. So yeah.
Wow. So we've invested the money, we've got the certifications, and we're like, yep, no. By Honduras at this point?
Yes. Well, yeah, I stuck around for a little bit, but it was by Honduras.
Yeah.
Long story short, I ended up moving to Atlanta for a little bit because I was like, anything to kind of avoid going back to Phoenix.
Sure.
Went to Atlanta. Atlanta was not it. Oh yeah, that's a whole separate story. Atlanta was not it. I found my way back to Phoenix.
Okay.
And again, it was one of them things where I was like, what's next? What's in between that? To save some time, I was like, I wanted to, again, going back to wanting to pursue medicine, right?
Okay.
And so I was taking some online classes. I was like, I don't want to do medical school right now. Maybe PA school, right?
What's PA school?
PA school is like physician associate or physician assistant. I'm not sure. Are you familiar with it?
Yep.
So it's kind of like, I was like, I didn't want to invest the time for medical school, but I was like, PA school was kind of like a good middle ground.
Sure.
Because so I was like, so I'm completing some online some courses, and I wake up one day, I was like, I don't think I want to do this either.
Really?
I was like, you know what? I kind of just want to live abroad and kind of live my life in whatever that looks like.
Sure.
So I told my partner again, I was like, hey, so here we are. Back in the situation, again. Yeah. I was like, well, I want to go move to Thailand.
Okay.
It's like, well, I'm not sure what you want to do, but
this is what I'm doing.
This is what I'm doing.
What does he say?
He's like, well, I knew this was coming.
Really?
Yeah. I was unhappy. He can tell. He would see. I was really depressed. Again, I was falling back into that. I was like, nah, I'm good. I need to leave.
Can I just say, when you feel these moments, these low moments, do you think that they are largely impacted by your environment?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because it's like, deep down, this is not where I want to be, right?
Okay.
This is not, I don't want to be stuck in the apartment doing, having a mundane routine.
Sure.
Going to work, coming back. Like, I was like, it's like I'm deeply, it's conflicting for me, you know, with what I really want to do and what I have to do.
Sure.
You know, and it's like, but I don't have to do this.
Right.
Especially when you don't have to do it. You know what I mean? It's one thing to have to do it because you need to make, survive. But it's like, I don't have to live this particular lifestyle.
Sure.
So I was like, you know what? No, I'm leaving.
Yep.
And so, he's like, okay, well.
He felt it coming. He knew it was time. What I think is also super interesting is that it's one thing to have that feeling, but not have experienced anything else. Right. So you can kind of talk yourself out of it, right? Because you don't know what the other really feels like. But by this point, you've lived in multiple countries. You've seen so many things. And I feel like it makes it even harder to accept the discomfort.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, I ended up packing my stuff again and leaving. And here I am in Phuket, Thailand.
So when you've left this time, what is the relationship plan?
We broke up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I wanted the love story. I was like, you guys, you kept it going on the 3 months coming to visit, but this time you're like.
Yeah, the love story would have been like, you know what? Fuck this too. I'm coming with you.
Yeah.
No, he's like, I gotta work.
Is that what you were expecting? Were you expecting?
Deep down, yes.
Because I was excited. I don't even know you guys. Yeah. And I was expecting that he was gonna okay, babe, let's go. Yeah.
And deep down I was hoping that, but it's like, you have your goals.
Sure.
I have mine, and it's kind of like, but we still good friends. Sure. We still good friends. We still talk every day. But here I am in Thailand 2 years later.
Okay.
This is my second year. And I'm loving it, you know. It's been, again, it's one thing to visit, and I've been here again. I kept visiting Thailand a couple of times prior, like maybe a couple of weeks, a month.
Right.
But it's one thing to visit for a short amount of time. I actually live here, right? And it's been amazing. I actually love it. I love Thailand. I love Phuket.
Take me back to when you decided Phuket was the place to like lay some roots versus other, because you've been to so many places.
Yeah.
First, can you explain to me what is unique about Phuket?
Well, honestly, to be quite honest with you, I can't even pinpoint why I chose Phuket particularly.
Okay.
I can't, even from when I was gonna move to Thailand, I was like, I don't know why I chose Phuket.
Okay.
I think I was just gonna go Phuket because it was central,
Right.
and I can branch out to anywhere if I wanted to. If I want to go to like Chiang Mai, whatever. But Phuket had like, you know, the infrastructure, like all of the like creature comforts, right?
Yes.
So I got here and I realized, oh, I can actually live here. Again, it was like one of them things where it's, for me, because I visited multiple countries and like I had to like really sit down with myself to feel like, okay, what do I need long term, right? And because the whole, you know, I can stay on like a little mini island, you know, a little beautiful island where it has like just vibes and sunlight. I mean, it's the vibes and sun and ocean.
Sure.
I would get bored.
Right.
I was like, what do I actually need to stay long term versus short term?
Yep.
And I needed a combination of all of that, you know, where.
And what were some of the things that you know?
I needed the palm trees. I needed the sun. I needed the ocean. However, I needed to feel comfortable, right? I needed the accommodation to kind of also fit that as well.
Sure.
I needed, you know, I needed accessibility to things where if I needed even like Amazon or like Lazada or going to the mall and buy like little specific items.
Yep.
I needed to be close to the airport, international airport, where if I wanted to go fly out, I can do it. It can be easy, you know?
Yes.
I needed community where I didn't want to be. I could have easily went to a unknown spot in Thailand where it's not as popular, but again, community would have been an issue. So I just felt like isolated. You know what I mean? So it just really felt alone. I would have felt alone. So I was like, I needed a combination of that. So I was like, Phuket kind of off of that.
Okay.
You know, so if I chose a spot initially, and then again, if I want to go off to an island to go scuba dive, I can do that. If I want to go to Krabi to go rock climb, I can go on my bike and take a little road trip. Do that, you know? So I think that's what ultimately why I chose Phuket.
Phuket.
Yeah.
And then when you come here to live, right, at this point, what are we thinking we're doing career-wise? Because we've done so many at this point, you know? What are we thinking is going to be the thing that is sustainable?
At that point, somewhere I've picked up photography more.
Okay.
And ended up getting really good. Ended up working with some brands.
What kind of photography?
Travel photography, portrait photography for the most part. Again, like working with different like like resorts, hotels, different like brands.
Sure.
Doing, you know, content creating. I guess content creating with photography, but more for a professional photographer than an influencer.
100%. I saw a picture of like your penguins.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
those.
That is deep. Yeah. I mean, not to say for any influencer, I'm very sorry. I am old fashioned. And so when I hear influencer, I don't think of those penguins, right?
Right.
Like that is just photography at another level. So I completely get it.
Yeah, thank you. So that's what I've been doing here. Again, and I'm grateful because it's more so word of mouth now, especially for my like portrait photography. I do like a hat like Phuket photographer or whatever, and then you get people like, oh, I see you here in Phuket. Can I book a session? And it's like it just kind of goes up from there.
Babe, I need to book a session. I didn't know you did portraits too. I just thought it was all about the wildlife.
Oh no, girl. I guess you're on the page.
Babes.
Yeah, I do it all. I kind of do it. So yeah, and that's been great. I've taken a step back a little bit.
Okay.
But before we get to this, I want to talk about the Guinness record.
Right.
The Guinness record, right? So last year, it was one of them things where I was kind of, I think I was here for a little bit now, and I'm kind of like, I was craving an adventure, right? I was like, I'm kind of getting a little, not stuck, but I feel like I need something, shake it up a little bit and shake the table a little bit. So I was watching a Netflix documentary about this woman called Nayad, and it's pretty much her story is that she was a swimmer at some point, and she was like at this point like 60-something years old. Okay. And she decided to wake up one morning and be like, you know what? I'm gonna swim from Cuba to Florida nonstop.
60-something years old?
Yeah.
Babes.
Yeah. So she ended up completely, it was like 25 hours nonstop of just swimming. She was stoned.
25 hours. Let me tell you something real quick. I don't know like about you, but I don't really swim for exercise, right? Like when I say I'm going to a beach and like you just dip in the water, you feel the breeze and life is good. Right. And then one day I went to my gym and I was like, I'm going to do some laps for actual exercise. And then I was like, swimming is no joke. Like as in actual athletic kind of swimming, everything in your body.
It works every muscle.
Like everything hurt the day after. So the idea of being 60-something and swimming for 20 plus hours, what?
She completed. Now on top of that, she was getting stung by box jellyfish. And if you see,
I'm done. You see how you were done with the snakes? I am done with the jellyfish.
And the thing was, she was so determined because the doctor at some point was like, "Hey, you get stung one more time, we can't save you. Like, you're done. You're dead."
Really?
She was like, "Huh, okay." Right. my thoughts exactly. I'm looking at it, I was like, "Oh my god!" I'm like biting my nails, like, "Oh my god, she's gonna make it." She made it.
Shut up.
And let me tell you, I felt so inspired, and I also kind of felt lazy. I was like, This woman in her 60s, she's swimming 25 hours. Man, I'm sitting on the couch watching her. Oh no. I need an adventure of my own. I was like, oh, that's it, fight under my ass.
That is crazy.
Yeah, so I'm calling my friend, and I was like, I'm telling them about the documentary. I was like, you need to watch it. So they watched it, call me back. I'm like, you see, I need an adventure. Like, what should I do?
Right.
It's like, why don't you just do a Guinness record or something like that? I was like, oh, I never thought about completing one.
Sure.
At that point, I didn't know you can actually just sign up. Go on the website, find whatever you have. I put in Scuba.
Okay.
And I saw the list of records that hasn't been completed. I was like, oh, I'm gonna choose this one.
Okay.
The fastest time to scuba dive all 7 continents. And there was no one who can. So what's crazy is that my friend Ed, he actually created the record, but he didn't complete it.
Okay.
So what you do is...
This is your friend who's telling you to do the record?
No, this is
another friend. Okay.
Yeah, because once I announced it, he hit me up and was like, oh...
I tried.
Yeah, like, it was actually my record. I was supposed to do it. Because what you can do is with Guinness is that you pay $5, you can create your own record.
Okay.
I created a record too, which I ain't gonna tell nobody because I'm gonna complete it. But it has to do with school. Oh, I'm not gonna say that. But
so he had tried.
He didn't try. He just... I think he was trying to apply, and I think there was some disconnect where... He was gonna try, but
right.
I forgot.
It didn't
get done.
Okay.
And
so when you pick up the thing you want to do, you contact Guinness and you're like, "Hi, I'm about to do this."
Yeah. So you choose the record.
Yeah.
And you fill out a little application on like why you want to do it, some details. And they after a couple of weeks they'll send you confirmation along with like the list of parameters regarding the record.
Right.
And you just adhere to the record, to the parameters, and you just complete the record. They'll tell you what they need in terms of like evidence, rather it's like you so
because I was about to say, how do they prove that you did it?
Yeah, they'll tell you like to record X amount of like hours from the start to finish. They'll tell you all of that. It's very detailed. And so you just follow those parameters and you complete the record, and then
in 19 days, 19 hours and 40 minutes, baby got it done.
Yeah. Yeah. It was expensive. But again, it was one of them things where I'm young, money would come back.
Sure.
You know, it was one of them things where I could just like, it's that experience where I can always remember it. I will talk about it. You know, it's like I got it, you know, I have the whole footage. So
it's crazy.
Yeah.
When I read it, the first thing that came to my mind was, yo, my man went to Antarctica.
Yeah.
Like it must have been freezing.
It was really cold, but it wasn't that bad though. It's cold, but it's like
it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that coming from like New York. That brisk cold is crazy. Like, you know, it's and I felt like Antarctica because Antarctica does get cold.
Okay,
it can get extremely cold, right? However, in certain parts of Antarctica, right, like anywhere else, like the further south you go, the colder it's gonna get.
Right. Is Antarctica that big that it has non-cold parts?
I mean, the whole thing is cold, but however, it's okay. So we was at the most southern tip of it all. Like, you know, so it wasn't
as far as away from the cold as you could get, but it was still cold.
It was still cold, but it was manageable, like 30-something degrees. Okay. It was like you just need if you're going skiing, that same get up.
Okay.
You was going snowboarding. So I literally have my ski pants.
Okay.
I have like a little ski
jacket.
You're
scuba diving. So in the water, it's more cold.
It's more cold. However, they have insulation. They have this thing called dry suits.
Okay.
Where you put it on, it's really thick. And essentially, it keeps you dry. You don't get wet. So you put on, what happens is that you put on your insulating layers.
Okay.
To keep you warm. And then, which it can be anywhere from a fleece to like, it could be anywhere from like a little thermal.
Okay.
Then a fleece.
Right.
And then your wetsuit. I mean, your dry suit.
Right.
Whatever. And so, yeah, and it's cold, but it's not to like, oh my God, I'm just like.
I mean, the Jamaican in me, babes.
I get you.
I don't believe you.
I get you. I promise you it wasn't that bad.
But I'm glad that you got it done.
Yeah, and because I hate the cold. I actually don't like the cold. However, at first I needed to get this record done.
Sure.
One, but then two, it's like it's actually not bad. It's actually really manageable.
Okay.
There was times where we was landing on some of the islands or whatever, and I'm walking up the snowy hill. I'm like taking off my jacket because it's hot. I'm actually pretty hot. You know, so it actually really wasn't bad. It was an amazing experience. I definitely want to go back.
To Antarctica?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
It was so beautiful. It was
really?
Yeah, it felt like a part of the world that hasn't been touched. Where it was like it's just raw. Like it's just like you just see snow, you see these thousands of penguins and seals, and it's amazing. It's like, oh my God, it's different.
Yeah.
It's different. And it just felt magical, you know? So yeah, I definitely recommend it. And then the cruise, you say you like luxury. The cruises are nice. Some of them be having saunas, gyms, like the whole nine. The food, I didn't have a bad dish on that cruise.
Really?
You meet so many interesting people. You meet people who just all walks of life and just.
I mean, the fact that you guys are in Antarctica, you have to be interesting, right? Like, no, not everyone just jumps up to go to Antarctica.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So.
And then when you did that, when you got the record, what were you hoping to achieve? Outside of the record itself, what were you hoping that it was going to do for you? Was it literally just because I wanted some excitement, or was there something deeper?
Initially, primarily I wanted the excitement. Cool. You know, it was all for me, for the most part, right? However, I realized the impact, especially being on social media, how it influences people, right? Yeah. You know, so you can't negate that. When it inspires other people to want to go out and, you know, set out whatever goals they have in mind, whatever it don't have to be scuba diving, but whatever it is, right? Sure. And to see a young black man from, you know, a very colorful background, go off and, you know, accomplish this goal, you know, it's really heavy for some people, right? And then for me, I take pride in that, you know what I mean? So even though it's for myself, hey, it inspired a lot of people to want to go off. So I appreciate that. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it was for my excitement. You know what I mean? But you could kill two birds with one stone. Sure. You know? But yeah, I went off to, like, you know, do little classroom engagements. So that was cool. Amazing. That was really my art teacher, my old art teacher from high school. She hit me up, and they had this whole, like, this little underwater theme, and I was like the center of it all. And it was wonderful. They had these kids drawing, like, my little from, like, the character from my book.
From your book? What?
Oh, yeah. I have I have a children's book.
Okay, just casually from my book.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so I have a children's book. It's called Trent Adventure. It's an educational fun fact book about marine life and scuba diving. Okay. So it's meant to be part of a series where this young boy, he kind of pretty much explores the world. Right. In different, you know, so I don't want to make it just underwater. I want him to, you know, maybe, you know, travel different countries, kind of get, like, you know, fun facts about, like, you know, Thailand or whatever, different cultures. So that's the intention behind the book. Okay. But yeah, it's been going really well.
And you wrote that after you did your scuba diving?
No, I wrote that 2 years ago. Okay. Yeah, it was actually, so there's a period of time where I kind of briefly moved to Thailand for like a month and a half to do Muay Thai.
To do what?
Muay Thai.
What that?
It's like it's a form of martial arts. Okay. Yeah. It was cool. So I went to Chiang Mai. I took a month off to study that.
Do you still do martial arts?
No. No. It was one of them things where I wanted to try it out to kind of see if I like it, because I always wanted to, like, you know, study some form of martial arts. Okay. And no, that one is not for me.
Why?
It's intense. They really be kicking. They really be beating ass. And it's like, you see me? I'm too old to be fighting like this. I'm not doing this. You know, and you have, like, and it wasn't even that. I think it's the pride thing, because you have, like, 13-year-old whipping your ass. And it's like, oh no, you know, this is not for me. You know, so it was fun until it wasn't. And I appreciate, you know, the Muay Thai fighters. Y'all cool, but it's not my team. Right. But yeah, I ended up writing a book during that the time off. Okay. Yeah. And so, yeah, where was I?
We were at the part where you had gone into schools, you'd gone to your old school, and you were speaking with people about your experience.
Yeah, speaking to the kids about the experience. And again, they had, like, this little, the assignment was to draw a page out the book. Okay. So that was so warm and heartfelt, you know. So again, it was one of them things where what you do, it's like a domino effect, right? Yes. So who knows? I may have inspired the next generation of 100%. Scuba divers or explorers or whatever. So it's like things like that. You know, got to take into account for. So
that's crazy. Yeah. So in Phuket now, what is the plan? What are we doing?
What is the plan? Isn't that always a thing? You know, it's just saying that, you know, on the top of every mountain is the bottom of another one. You know, and I felt like after that Guinness record, I was on top of a mountain. Yes. I've accomplished that goal, and it's like, okay, kind of come back down and trying to figure out the next mountain. You know. Sure. And I think that's what life is. You got to keep life exciting. You know. And for me, my next, I had to reflect a little bit as well on like what I want my life to be, my next chapter of life, you know? And this has been fun. Like in terms of like doing the whole photography thing, influencer thing, I guess content creating, it's been fun, you know, but I'm getting to the point where I want something different now, you know? Cause I was like, well, to be quite honest with you, I want to experience the luxury life now, you know? I want to have some real coin. I want to take those, you know, and it's also like a lot of the things that are like the next set of goals or I guess activities or bucket list activities, they require a lot of coin. Like I wanna explore this cave in Vietnam. Is the biggest cave in the world. Okay. It's called the Son Dong Cave. We could do an expedition for 5 days. And again, those cost like $3,000-$4,000, you know? I wanna go to Chaos Island where again it's just where you can dive with hundreds of hammerheads. Again.
Sorry, you want to dive with the sharks?
Oh yeah.
Really?
I want to dive with the sharks, yeah.
Why?
I love sharks.
But you want to swim with them?
I want to swim with them. I swim with like 20 species already. Like 20 different species of sharks.
You've already been swimming with the sharks?
And I'm actually about to leave next month to the Maldives for a month.
To go swim with some sharks?
Some tiger sharks too.
Hold on. I know this is not the point of our conversation. Yeah. But I'm just trying to visualize. So you're out in the sea?
Yeah.
And there are sharks swimming in the sea?
Absolutely.
And you can see those sharks in the sea.
And they can see you too.
And then you jump in the water with them? And what, just chill?
Just chill. You just swim. Just kind of, I mean, obviously with anything else, you gotta be cautious, right? Anything underwater, I will say they are apex predators. They can be dangerous, but the stigma behind them isn't true. You know what I mean? In terms of like, they're not out to get you. You know what I mean?
What are you out to get from this is what I'm trying to understand.
You said what I get from it?
Yes.
Just get to see them in the habitat. You know, it's really, it's one of them, it's kind of those magical experiences where you can just... Really? Yeah, it's just really... I don't know. I find excitement with it.
The first time you went swimming... I'm sorry. Yeah. I didn't know this about you, clearly. Yeah. The first time you decided to go and swim with the sharks, was it just for an adrenaline rush? Have you always loved sharks? You're scared of snakes. I thought we were on the same page with animals. But now we've gone from fear of like land animals to being cool with jumping in a water with sharks.
Okay, so yeah, I have so the thing with the snakes, I had to realize because I'm in Australia, you know, they have a lot of venomous snakes. Okay. And I don't mind snakes. I actually don't mind animals in general. Clearly. I don't like being surprised by them. Okay. Because even when I was diving in Australia, I was in a shipwreck. I was swimming kind of over the, I was coming around the bow and a huge bull shark went by me. And again, it was one of the moments where I'm startled because I didn't expect that. Okay. You know what I mean? So again, with sharks, it's one of them things where you have to know, again, be educated on them, right? Understand they have, you know, their, not their habitats, but they...
how they're going to behave.
Yeah, their behavior. You know what I mean? Knowing where, okay, I need to back up. I'm okay to swim. Like, I'm not going up to them like trying to pet them. I'm just I just want to observe them in their habitat, in their environment.
And you're not scared they're going to nyam you?
Not really, no.
Really?
Nope.
You say this as it's normal. Are most people not surprised that you like to swim with sharks?
Yeah, and especially in the scuba diving industry, like the scuba diving like community. You say, you tell a scuba diver you saw a shark. They say, oh my God, you saw a shark?
Okay, so other people are surprised.
Yeah, it's just I think people outside of the scuba diving community kind of like, oh my God, you diving with sharks? Right. But it's so normalized. Okay. Yeah, but it's not so often. You're lucky to see a shark because you have to go to areas where almost like you're guaranteed, or it's like it's really common to see them. Oh wow. So again, there's areas in the world where like the Galapagos, like a lot of those places require a lot of money. Right. And I'm at the point where I was like, I don't have, $5,000, for the scuba diving, you know what I mean? So again, where I'm at that point in my life where I was like, I think for me to level up, I need to change some things around. Okay. And so what I've decided is that I'm going back to school. Okay. PA school. Okay. So I decided I'm going to do that. So I've been knocking out some classes and hopefully by next year I get to enroll into the program. And yeah, I got to. And
where would the program be?
I have a couple schools in mind. It's a couple locations in the States where I'm looking at. Looking at Florida. I'm looking at Atlanta.
But it's all stateside.
It's all stateside. It's literally all stateside.
Is any part of you concerned that going back to the States could perhaps bring those demons with you. I think from a personal perspective, I've struggled with depression probably since I was about 15. My mother left, long story. And I really connect with you in environment and like what that means for my mindset and like how I'm able to kind of just stay on the right side of things. And I just wonder if the idea of going back to the States, because in the story that you've shared, so much heavy weight seems to come with that. Are you concerned that being in that space again could potentially also bring you to a lower space?
This time around, no.
Okay.
Because I've been mentally preparing myself for this, right? And then also, I think this is a lot different. I think a lot has changed for me, even like, mentally, and then the goals are different. I'm actually pursuing something I actually want to do in the States, unfortunately. So it's not like I'm kind of like, twiddling my thumbs in the States and just kind of like going through like a mundane routine or anything like that. It's something I have a goal in mind.
With purpose.
A purpose. I'm going with a purpose. And so it's a lot different.
Are we reconnecting with our partner from back in the day that should have come to Southeast Asia?
We'll see. we keeping the lines open for that.
I love it.
But yeah, it's a lot different. Like I said, mentality is different. Like I said, goals are different. Like I said, I have a purpose. So it's gonna be a lot different this time around.
And so are you then planning to work in the States after?
Yeah, for a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. So my goal is, and this can always change, but the goal right now, what I think, the expectation of it all is that I'm gonna go to PA school. After I finish PA school, probably work at a hospital or something. To kind of soak in as much experience as possible.
Sure.
Maybe a year or two if I really like it. And then kind of transition over to like contract work where I can, work for probably like 6 months on, 6 months off, or probably like while I'm abroad, do some like telehealth. Okay. Like a combination of that. And see how that unfolds. And I can still live my best life. Sure. And if that doesn't go according to plan, my plan B is to live in Hawaii. Okay. Because Hawaii kind of gives me that.
A bit of both. Yeah.
So that's my plan B. Plan C, I haven't thought that far ahead. But, let me get to PA school first. Sure. But I have some things in place. I have a plan in place.
Sure. Yeah. I have so many questions now. Yeah. So going back to life in Phuket. As a Black man living in Phuket, is there a particular experience that you're having that you don't think others are having?
That is a good question. I'm gonna give you a live thought. I'm gonna spew as I'm thinking.
Sure.
I think for me, in general, just me being me, I have different hobbies, right? In general, right? And so altogether, that's already different, right? Whereas a lot of let me try to compare the community, right? So I have a community here, Black Phuket. Okay. With community of expats, Black expats from all over Canada, UK, like you name it, right? Sure. And we kind of get together and we, do things together, karaoke, whatever. And again, how we was talking earlier, how you said like when expats come, move abroad, they kind of bring.
They're just uprooting their exact same circle and just putting it in another place. Yeah.
Right. And that's where I kind of defer because I'm an outdoors guy, you know what I mean? So I'm still doing my rock climbing. I'm still going out open. So I'm doing things that's still unconventional. Sure. And so, and I'm way more open to like communicating with, again, locals and understanding culture. And so I have that kind of openness to everything. So it's a bit different. So to answer your question, as a Black man, I wouldn't say the experience is so different, especially here being in Thailand, where I felt like it's a non-judgmental, country. Where again, everybody's experience is different. For me, I just felt like I feel safe. There was never a moment where I felt like my life was in danger or unsafe or like there was no space for me. It's just. And maybe I'm just used to it too, just kind of like navigating different,
spaces.
Yeah. So for me, I'm seeing a different perspective.
Is there anything living here in Phuket that you kind of need to live here to understand? Because I think that there's still an impression that being an expat or being from somewhere else, living in Thailand means that you have this digital nomad life. You sit by the beach all day and kind of, make your money online. And when I speak to people, their lives are real lives, they have real like day-to-day things that they're going through that others might not appreciate. And I just wondered, is there something about living here that you think other people wouldn't understand?
I think, and this is anywhere, right? understanding cultures, understanding laws. You know, people think they're above it because they're from a different country and it doesn't affect them. And it's like, so they could come here and feel like they can do anything they want. It's like, that's not how it works. You know, because you wouldn't even do that in your own country.
Yes.
You know, there's a lot of that. And it's like the lack of respect they have for the locals. You know what I mean? And in, like, granted, what you're saying is very true. Where they come, you know, have their little digital nomad thing where they're kind of working on the beach and working on little cafes, and that's their life. That's very real, right? Something I want to hit on is that people think they could just come here. I think it's the entitlement, right? And the expectation that they could just come here and just like live here without understanding that you have the visa process, you have to go through certain channels to kind of, you know, to stay here long term, you know what I mean? And people think they're above that as well, where they feel like they don't have to follow the rules. And so anyway, they get frustrated when things don't go according to plan, where they was like, oh damn, I actually have to, where you leave Thailand and you feel like, you leave the country, and you're mad because you can't get back in because you didn't follow proper protocol. And they visa procedures. So it's more like that. When people come here, they have this idea they can just set up shop and that's it. That's
100%.
life.
And it's funny, I agree with you so much. And at the same time, I had to check myself the other day because I have a British passport and a Jamaican passport. I love my country, but there are very few places that you can go visa-free on a Jamaican passport. You can actually come to Thailand, by the way. But in terms of like within Europe, for example, you couldn't just turn up with a Jamaican passport and have entry. And I realized that I don't look at what the entry requirements are. Like when I book a flight, I don't check what I need before arriving. And I had to like check myself and say, but why? And it's because I have a British passport, I kind of just presume that I can just turn up because why not? And I think that there has to be like accountability on the part of the person who's entering someone else's country, that it is our responsibility to check. I went to Malaysia the other day and it was during Ramadan. And I swear to you, I think in part because Malaysia is very diverse in terms of religion, cultures, etc. I didn't think of Malaysia as a Muslim country. Like it just didn't occur to me. And so ignorantly, I was wearing a dress and my aunt there at the time, she was like, April, it's Ramadan, you know, I think you need to change. And I love when people check me, right? And I had this whole thing of, why haven't I checked? Why haven't I gone and online and seen, you know, what are the current national holidays? Like, what are the local customs that we need to be respectful of? And I think that more and more, again, because we're seeing people live certain lives abroad, we're not doing the work that is on us to do, you know?
And then it's very, what's the word? Is that, again, because of social media, they had this idea of what it's supposed to be, where, again, I think you have a certain sense of responsibility. I think, especially when you're traveling, you're kind of telling people, especially for like high followers, right? People who have, I don't know, whatever. People are watching you, right? And this is the space that you're navigating. I think we have a certain level of responsibility where you travel into these countries to be like, hey y'all, this is how I did this. You know, these are don't think you can just come here and do the same thing I'm doing, or this is the proper procedures or stuff. And I feel like they think they just give like the flowery type of idea. And I think that's what people are following, you know. So again, I've seen it. I've seen people come here and they think they could just stay here 6 months. Without, you know, proper visas. Like, no. And it's times where, again, they're, you know, they kind of fly in and immigration like, oh, nope, not today, honey. You gotta go back home. So it's a lot of that. So
what do you think about the idea of gentrification? A lot of people I've spoken to have said, especially people who have been here for years and seen how Thailand continues to change. What do you think in terms of, again, as a foreigner in Thailand, there's an argument to say that us being here is also making it harder for locals, right? In terms of affording things and doing things. And what do you think that means in terms of being a responsible, you know, person living? And not just Thailand. This applies to so many places.
Right. I was going to say, this happens literally all over the world. Even in our home, like, you know, from where we're from, you know? So it's kind of hard to say, you know, this would be any different just moving here in Thailand because, and I think, again, these are all live ideas. I'm trying to think so I think from a grounded perspective where we all give and take from each other, right? Where, again, you know, who knows what Phuket would have been like if we didn't have a lot of the Westerners from different, you know, you have people from China, Korea, whatever, India coming in and setting up shop and all that good stuff. Granted, I'm sure there are better ways to kind of go about it because, you know, even for like, I don't want to say anything, like you have like communities like Russians, and they have like their own community.
Sure.
And so forth, so on and so forth. Like we have, even in New York, you have Chinatown,
Yes.
you have Indiatown, like you have so many those spaces. And I feel like those are just as important. I just feel like the dangers, not dangers, but I think the issues with that is when you just isolate yourself from the community. Like you kind of ice off the rest of the world while only setting up shop within that. You know what I mean? You don't kind of, not give back, but you gotta give back or try to like integrate. I think the issue is integration.
Yeah.
And you see that where they kind of be like, okay, yeah, I don't know.
Is it harder to integrate because of a language barrier, do you think? And people just lazy and they don't try?
Definitely that. That's definitely that.
Yeah.
Even for me, I've said it a couple times too. I was like, if you're like, you've been here 2 years, you don't know 2 years, but you've been coming back and forth.
Sure.
And for a couple times, I was like, you haven't learned the language? And I was like, I've said, I was like, damn, it's hard. The language
Honestly,
is hard.
babes.
And then I found myself like, I'm kind of in this space where I'm kind of like, I am utilizing technology where I'm using Google Translate and these apps.
Yes.
It's like, this is what they're used for, because it's impossible to kind of visit, to travel as often as we do and learn every single language that we,
Sure.
It's impossible,
Yeah, I just say thank you and hello.
Yeah, I think basic greetings go a long way.
Yeah.
But it's unrealistic to be like...
Although sometimes I'd be like, I'm trying my Kop Kun Ka, and I'm like, I feel like no one's really impressed. I'm like, babes, that took a lot, right? Like, they're very impressed. I have 4-year-old twins, and they're impressed with them. I'm like, okay, but I know I'm big, but I put some work into that too.
Yeah. Sure.
The thing I love about your story is all of the shifting. I love the fact that, especially coming from someone like myself, I feel like we're so opposite in that way, in the sense that I have love for the impulsiveness. The impulsiveness that you say you're trying to tame, for me, it's deeply inspiring. I love a plan. As I tell you, that 9-year-old plan had me in a chokehold for ages, right? And I love the idea that you really experience life. Like your life is about experiences. You don't seem to have any kind of... Like, you don't seem to second guess the fact that you have tried a career, you didn't really like it, you liked the idea of it, when you tried it, it wasn't for you, so you just switched in a way that almost feels effortless. Like, I'm truly envious of that. And I guess also the stage that I'm at in my life, right? Like, I closed my restaurants and I've taken my children and I've gone traveling. And
that's big. That's huge.
I know, and I'm trying to really surrender to the universe and allow like the world to guide me as to where I'm going to go. But that is not at all in line with my character. My character is a planned, pursuing character. And I think that to meet someone like yourself who... Not to say that you're not achieving things, but it's the beauty in the fact that you don't seem to be hindered by the need to do something and stay doing it when you know it's not serving you.
Right.
And I wonder, have you always like been like that? Or is this something that you have been able to kind of garner over time? And this is solely for my own purpose because I want to get it. I want to be like you.
Yeah, no worries. I think it's a combination of... Because all it takes is that first decision, right? The kind of like, again, that domino effect.
Yeah.
But I think even before that, I think life had kind of set me up from that, just from my background of being in foster care.
Okay.
How I started life wasn't stable.
Sure.
It was always a shift where I never felt fully comfortable or fully like secure.
Yeah.
And I think at some point it's one of them things you take a weakness into a strength, right? And I think as I'm thinking about it, I think that's probably where that kind of, that I guess confidence, maybe flexibility, maybe, to adapt kind of came in it, and I didn't fully realize it until that whole thing where I went to, to that gap year and it kind of like amplified into what it is now, what I mean? So again, because again, I think that one decision kind of, again, changed the trajectory of what my life could have been. Because again, even though I've done a couple of things up to the point, I was like, okay, well, this is my house. I have this career, and this is what I was going to do, right? Who knows what that could have looked like? But again, it's that one decision that kind of has a domino effect. So, and it's one of them things that where when you constantly put yourself in situations where you have to come out on top, you kind of get that, you build that confidence where no matter what happens, I'm going to land on my feet. I'm gonna figure it out. you know, and a lot of people don't have that. It's a really great skill to adapt and be flexible and to figure it out.
Yep.
You know, so I think I had that down pack. I think that's a skill set where I have that.
Do you feel that anywhere is home?
No, home is within myself.
Okay.
Home is me. I realized that home is me is where I set up shop, and then that's where it's gonna be. You know, and it kind of shifts too. I think the idea of home kind of changes for me. You know, for people in general, right? For me, I thought home at some point was family. I thought was my partner. I thought it was a home. I thought it was a particular country. I thought so. It kind of shifts. But I was like, no, the common denominator is me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm home. I'm good.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's also an amazing place to be able to find the source of what you need within yourself. And
I think that goes back to, again, when you go adapt and be flexible, again, it's all, you got to have it here. You got to have it here to kind of navigate. You know what I mean? You got to have those, again, it's within yourself. So I don't know.
Any regrets so far?
The only regret I have, I have two regrets. I have two. One regret is, again, moving to Phoenix. That's one.
To Satan's playground.
To Satan's playground. My second regret is spending my savings on an app.
On an app?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Oh, let me see. There's a period in time when I was on Australia. I was making good money.
Yeah.
I was making good money. You know, so I was, you know, when you have money, you know, the choices open up, right?
Sure.
You get the ideas flowing, like I can invest in this and that, right? And so it was one of them like 3 a.m. type of ideas where, again, it's from my travel experiences where I was like, I wanted to do like I had like a bucket list of items I wanted to do. And I found it really difficult to really find these activities, right?
Okay.
And I was like, there has to be more streamlined platform where I can just like, if I want to go, I can put together a list of ideas.
Sure.
And click on, you know, maybe to find it instantly, right? So I was like, oh, you know what? I think the name changed a couple times, but I ended up staying with Bucket List Reloaded.
Okay.
You know, where it's your bucket list, but however, it's a bit different because now you can. So I created an app, right?
Okay.
I invested in the app. I spent like $40,000.
Okay.
Yeah. On this app, I hired a third party.
Yeah.
Company from India.
Right.
To kind of, you know, cut costs.
Yes.
And I had zero experience creating an app. I didn't know anything about the industry, right?
Right.
But I had some ideas, and I wanted to have somebody kind of make that tangible.
Sure.
So I was, you know, I hired them. And I told them what I wanted, and God, it was a journey.
Really?
Yeah, and oh man, so it was a great idea. It's even to this day, it's still a great idea. There's nothing on the market that's doing that. I mean, you have like things like Viator and like I think Get Your Guide, like you have those kind of apps, but it's not quite what.
So this app, the vision is that you can select the activity that you want to do. You will see potential places that you can do it, and you can just book seamlessly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I literally spent months gathering every activity you could possibly do on this earth. Like it's like 115 activities.
Okay.
Anything from like skydiving and scuba diving, everything in between.
Yep.
And you sign up for the app and you click on these activities that you want to do. You go come back and edit it, right? And so the idea is like it's like a Google map, right? And so you look at the businesses that offer the activities. You click on it, you can book everything through the app.
Yep.
And the app was
This sounds great.
Yeah, right?
What happened?
Well, bugs. So they designed the app, and I think there was something wrong with the Q&A. And again, I didn't have a lot of experiences to know what to look for. And I'm just looking at the app. I was like, this is beautiful. I held a hand from start to finish on the design, the font layout, the color, everything, icons. I mean, you name it, that was my baby.
Sure.
Okay? And it came down to, you know, uploading it on the market. And I was like, you know, it don't have to be perfect.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And I could always tweak it. But then I was like, this has a lot of bugs. Like, it was so many bugs. And I was like, I gotta fix this.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, well, we could fix it, but, you know, it's gonna cost another 20 grand. I was like, I don't have no more money. Y'all took all my money. This is my life savings. And I kind of crashed out then too.
Sure.
And I was like, so long story short, they ended up not fixing it.
Okay.
And we ended up scrapping the app.
Okay.
Well, I ended up scrapping the app. It was all me.
Sure.
And yeah.
Do you think it's something that you'd bring back to life?
If I get bored with life,
okay,
I think at some point, if I have more money.
Yeah.
And I've done everything. And I was like, well, I'm going to kind of get us to swing again.
Sure.
Maybe.
Okay.
We'll see.
That doesn't sound like a real regretful. I mean, the money side, of course. I'm not trying to say that it's cool to lose that kind of money. But I think, I mean, the idea makes complete sense. It also aligns with like who you are and what you love.
Right. I think the regret is doing it without, okay, I think my regret is not doing enough research.
Before.
Not leaning into my network of people. I have software engineer friends.
Okay.
Who develop apps.
Why didn't you lean into them?
And it was one of them life lessons where I had to learn where because up until that point, I was like, I do everything on my own, right?
Okay.
So it was difficult asking for help,
right?
Difficult delegating. So it was one of them, I guess, it wasn't complete regret. I had some life lessons that I needed to learn.
How are you with asking for help now?
Well, it's not as bad. I will.
James, you still don't ask.
I know, it's still
40,000 down, and you still don't ask for help.
It's still a work in progress. It's still a work in progress, but I have gotten a lot better at asking for help.
Okay.
But it's not a lot of situations where it's like I'm finding myself needing help, But I think I'm aware of it. Okay. I'm aware of it. I think that's where it starts.
Cool. My last question for you. If your life was a postcard, what would the picture look like?
My life was a postcard. What would it look like? It would be me diving in Japan.
Oh, with sharks?
And Mikomoto with hammerheads.
Okay.
I can see the vision. I can see me in the background. And I can see the hundreds of hammerheads as well, just kind of swimming all around me. And I'm throwing up the peace sign.
Crazy.
Like, you should be here.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. This has been awesome.
Is there anything that you would have wanted to have said, wanted to have talked about that we haven't covered?
Yeah, this is one thing. I think this is a piece of advice. And I think this is one of, I think that the average life expectancy is about like 75 years, 80 years.
Okay.
Right? And so that's like, 75 summers, 75 winters, 75 falls. And we have to realize that, that's not a lot of time. It's not a lot of time. And because once you put it in those kind of numbers, in that kind of form, you realize that I can't waste time, and I have to enjoy my life. You know what I mean? So for me, I forgot where I got that from. But it was one of them reflective moments where I had to like transition. I was like, what do I want the next half of my life to look like?
Sure.
And so all I'm saying is that enjoy your life. Okay, life is short. Whatever you have in mind, go out and get it. Go out and go for it, I guess. I don't know, without the fear, whatever. I know it's cliche, but really,
no, but it's real.
Go out there.
Can I say, most people don't. Their reason is, yes, internal fear, lack of confidence, and some of those things. Yeah. But a lot of it is financial. And it feels like in your story, you like ticked off some major milestones very, very early. But it also seems like you weren't scared of not having the funds for your next move.
Yeah.
And I wondered, how do we all get there? Like, how do we get to that point where we have the confidence that it will work out, and therefore we can kind of still lead with passion?
Ooh, that's a good one too. Because I'm a bit reckless sometimes. I ain't gonna lie to you. So I will say, it may not be the guy to go to because it's one of them things I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
If it came down to it, but I'll also say I have to be aware of that. I made some really smart life like financial choices. You know what I mean? At the time where I did my first gap year, I had my house and everything, and I sold all of that because I had some. Then I had some money.
Yeah.
And then it was again running out of money. But even when I was down to my last couple grand, it was like I would make it back. I would get it. I have a skill set. I'm confident in myself, and I got a job as a chef. You know what I mean? It's one of the things. Believing in yourself, prioritizing your whatever you have, whatever you want to do, right? And also for me, my lifestyle is very minimalistic for the most part. Okay. You know what I mean? You see, I have the bare minimum for the most part. You know what I mean? I have my creature comforts, but for the most part, it's just prioritizing my travel. So all my money goes towards saving or whatever, and towards travel or whatever. So, I don't know. I think it's just reprioritize. Financial, budget, all that good stuff. Into whatever that figures out, whatever that looks like for you. Yeah. So
amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no worries.
Cool.